Hey, good morning, Sister Kate here. This video is about the Dallas shootings last night. Again, I was on Twitter and I saw the little, trending thing for it. Again, I had not read the story on Drudge or anything like that, so I went and I saw some of the video. And yeah, we should be concerned. Now, I know plenty of people out there are like, the cops deserve it. I'm not going to get into that. I'm only going to say this. It does show a breakdown of the social order if the people who are professionally paid to protect citizens are being shot. And I know that they are also shooting citizens. I have a video about that. We should be concerned about all these things. There's a couple of things about what happened there that I think are important. One, people were protesting. I think people should protest. You do have a right to free speech and you have a right to gather and voice your concerns about things. And I think it can be a very effective tool for people, for the people, to let legislators and officials know how they feel. I do think it can be very effective. And I think we have a right to do that, and so I support that. I do think a minority group within the majority group has a right to try to get their needs and concerns addressed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's important in a society because in this country, supposed to, every person's individual right to live and be happy is supposed to be important. And so if there are any citizens whose rights are not being taken care of, it should matter to the whole society. I believe that. Second, I don't think the people who were shooting were necessarily from the Black Lives Matter group. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I did see a pretty graphic 44-second video where I saw someone shoot one of the police officers, and the person who shot him had firearms training. There's just no doubt in my mind. Just the way that person held their firearm and how they moved with it, they were not just any American citizen out there doing their protest. They were someone who had training. That should concern us, because if you're having a peaceful demonstration and you are infiltrated by people with political agendas, it can turn your peaceful protest into something entirely different. People can be charged with accessory to murder if a crime like that happens and you're in the group that's there. So that becomes a big deal. The other thing is the political side of it. I had someone suggest that it could have been people from ISIS. It certainly could have. It's someone with some kind of training. So what agenda are they trying to push? This is changing the political flavor here in America. 50, 60 years ago, people voted, we thought our votes counted, and the politicians seemed to be responding to what the people wanted. Nowadays, it doesn't matter what the people want. Look at what happened with Hillary. And I'm not going to get into who's going to be president or not or whatever. It doesn't concern my life directly. But if one of our elected officials commits a crime in the office and admits to it and they have evidence to it and is not prosecuted, that's something. Our political system is not being effective. And that should concern all of us, because chaos and anarchy, the lack of a political system, does not necessarily mean things will get better. Look at Venezuela. When rule of law breaks down, then whoever is the biggest gangster, and I don't mean like whoever is the biggest bully, whoever has the most people and the most firearms will be the person deciding how our daily lives go. And that's a concern. That's why a legal system is so important. It makes it possible for peaceful living. And this is a sign that it's wrong. There's been many signs, don't get me wrong. Many signs in our country that our political system has been breaking down, that it's been full of corruption, that people are following their own agendas and not what is necessary or right or good for the people in general. And so Dallas is a sign of that. A sign of the rule of law and things breaking down. That should concern us as citizens. And the fact that those guys were trained. That means that just your peaceful protest where you're just exercising your right as a citizen to speak out may turn into some sort of criminal thing, and that's not right. You don't want to be involved in that. You really don't. You're going to have to find a way, maybe making videos, maybe writing letters and stuff to protest versus you getting out on the street, because it could be dangerous for you too. Accidents happen when bullets are flying around, and we don't want anyone injured in that kind of circumstance. So be concerned about that. Be alert. Think about where you're going. Think about what you're doing. Think about what would you do if something like that were happening in or around you. If you were downtown Dallas last night and you just were wandering or, having a nice walk with your family or whatever, and Black Lives Matter is doing their protest, you're going to expect to be okay. But when shots start ringing out, what are you going to do? I'll tell you this much. The people who took some video, that's going to help figure out what happened there. Also, anyone who called 911, but people should have been ducking and hiding. They should have been getting under cover and behind concrete blocks and everything, because that was dangerous. That was really, really dangerous. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep up on what's happening, and be alert. Look for signs of trouble. All right, bless you.